What is up, YouTube? It's Lions Fan Express coming at you with that man-to-man press. And in today's video, we're going to do a Joey Porter Jr. draft profile. I watched a lot of film on him. Not going to lie, I'm pretty high on him, not just as a cornerback, but as a defensive player in this draft. It does help, too, having NFL blood. His father played, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so he's got that bloodline in him, and he's also got a lot of good traits. And he's got some things he's got to clean up. So let's take a look at his overall game, and I'll give you guys my draft projection at the end. So Joey Porter Jr. is 6'2", 198 pounds. He's from Bakersfield, California, and he played at Penn State this season. In 2022, he had 21 total tackles and then 8 pass deflections, so pretty solid numbers there for a corner. Alright, so some strengths that, I've kind of noticed on tape is one thing that just you can't hide is his size and his length. He's 6'2", and he's got ridiculously long arms. He's going to be a freak when he goes to the combine and gets his arm length tested because he's got some really long arms, and you can see that on tape. He's able to, use that length and deflect passes. He's an excellent zone defender. He's able to get, box out the corner, the receivers, and be able to, get in between the ball and the receiver. He's got good anticipation where the ball is going to get thrown. He's got good makeup speed, and he's also a really good tackler as well. He doesn't really miss a lot of tackles. He also has the ability to go up and knock the ball away on deep or high passes, so he does that really well. He also learns from his mistakes, and he gets, as the game progresses, and he starts to shut down receivers later in the game. And then, he turns to locate the ball instead of playing the receiver, so he's more of a zone kind of player. And then some things that, kind of he needs to work on. He didn't really have a lot of production when it came to interceptions and turnovers. There was a couple plays where he probably should have had at least a couple picks this season. He just dropped it or just didn't turn around quick enough to locate the ball. So that's something that he needs to improve on in the NFL. He also he can come up and make tackles, but he prefers not to get his nose dirty. And I think a lot of cornerbacks are kind of like that. He does sometimes get beat off the line just with quicker receivers, and then he has to make up and try to make up for that. So, and also it gets a little handsy at times, which kind of draws flags. I saw that against Ohio State when he was going against Garrett Wilson. And then he's a little tight in the hips too. He's not overly fast, so he's gonna have to improve his change of direction and his hip mobility in order to guard quicker, faster receivers as well. And then he does get beat on slant routes occasionally as well. So when it comes to draft projection, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously he's a first rounder. I have him as my quarterback number 1 in this class. And to me, it's very tight when it comes to the cornerbacks, because it's really what flavor of cornerback do you want? Do you want someone who's got size, or maybe the intangibles, or has production? And to me, Joey Porter Jr., he's got a little bit of obviously the size and the intangibles, and it just shows. Like I said, he's 6'2", so he's got ideal size to play on the outside. He's also, like I said, he's got the bloodline in him of his dad, so he's obviously grown up, had some good coaching. At Penn State, I didn't see him get beat a whole lot, and I think he's one of the better man coverage corners in this class. And I think he can truly be a lockdown corner if he just improves on a couple things. So ultimately, he is probably the best physically gifted DB in this draft, which makes him, like I said, a top man coverage corner prospect this year. He can be handsy at times, but his presence is felt on the field when he guards opposing receivers. So ultimately, when it comes to the Lions, they need a DB desperately. I definitely expect them to get one in free agency, but I also expect them to, get one in the draft. And, why not in the first round when there's plenty of DBs to choose from? Whether that's at 6. In my opinion, I think that's a little rich to be picking a cornerback at 6, especially if there's a couple other players that are on the board. But, if there's someone at 6 that they really like, take them. And if not, maybe you trade back a couple spots, or you try to get one at pick 18, which I think would be more ideal. But at the end of the day, I think that, Joey Porter Jr., man, I just really like his tape. I think, again, just really what separates him from some of the other cornerbacks in this class is just, he doesn't have as great production. Like, I don't even think he had a single interception this year. He did have 8 pass deflections though, which is pretty solid, but he's just so like physically gifted, and even if he gets beat, like, he's able to just recover. And I don't see that from a lot of cornerbacks. It's like, they don't have like maybe the size to like go up against bigger receivers, or they don't have that like makeup speed or that length to like get into the receiver, maybe have a little bit more room for error to be able to just kind of knock the pass down, because you're just so long and you can just kind of defend more of an area. So ultimately, I really like Joey Porter Jr. I know a lot of people have their different opinions on this cornerback class, just because there's, like I said, there's so many different unique skill sets in this draft that it really just kind of depends on what system you're looking for. Obviously, if you're looking for more of a zone corner, I wouldn't really necessarily go Joey Porter Jr. because he's more of a man specialist. But when it comes to the Detroit Lions, they run a lot more man, so it makes sense to draft him. And then, like I said, to me, he can be a cornerback number 1. If you don't need him to be a cornerback number 1, he can be a really great number 2. If you don't want to thrust him into that role and try to, go against the best of the best right away. But ultimately, if you're getting picked in the first round, you're probably going to be going against, the top talent regardless of position. So basically, I think he's definitely ready, NFL ready. I don't think he's going to test great, like amazing at the combine when it comes to agility and maybe like the 40 time, just based off the fact that he doesn't look like insanely fast or twitchy on tape. But those intangibles, just the fact that he's 6'2" and he's built and he's long, that just itself is going to give NFL GMs something to think about and want to covet as a DB prospect. So with that being said, that's kind of my breakdown on Joey Porter Jr. I watched him against Ohio State, Purdue, which every single play he got better and better in that game, and then Auburn as well. So I watched some games on him. Definitely think that he's worth the high draft pick. And yeah, so if you guys like the content, like the video, make sure you if you guys have any questions, you can leave some comments down below. We can kind of create a little discussion going. If you guys think that Joey Porter Jr. is the best cornerback in this class, let me know. If you don't think he is, let me know as well. And who do you think is? And who I should do another draft profile on, if you guys want to see that as well. And like I said, we're kind of just plugging along. It's kind of the dead season of the NFL, right in between obviously the Super Bowl and then the combine, and then you got the draft. So really not a lot of whole exciting stuff going on right now, but it's still time to just kind of, like I said, watch film and learn more about these prospects and these players, and just kind of go from there. So with that being said, I'll see you guys later, and as always, go Lions.